Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Coding. In this video we will build a responsive cryptocurrency website using React and the CoinGecko API. This website will allow users to explore all cryptocurrencies and easily navigate through pages with pagination system and view detailed information for each cryptocurrency, including charts and market stats and currency converter price. So before we start, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I already created a React app, and you can find the start project in the link in the description below. First we need to install the dependencies. Now we will create the Navbar component. First we will import the navbar.css file. And we will return a nav tag with class name of Navbar. Inside of it we will have a div with class name of logo. Inside of this div we will have an h1 and p tag. After this div we will have a ul with class name of nav-links. Inside this ul, we will have a couple of li. Now let's import this component to the app file. Now let's save and have a look. Now we need to add the responsive design. So inside the Navbar component, we will add a state to track if the menu is open or closed. Then we will create a function to open and close the menu. Then we will update the class name of the ul to add open class name if the isOpen state is true. Then after this ul, we will add a div to display the menu icon. And when we click on this div, we will call the toggle menu function. Inside this div, we will display the close icon if the isOpen is true. Otherwise, we will display the menu icon. Now let's save and have a look. For the home page, we will display the cryptocurrencies fetched from the API. And we will use Redux Toolkit to manage the state and make the API call. So we will start by set up the Redux Toolkit. Inside the Redux folder, we will create CryptoSlice.js and Store.js. For the API, we will use CoinGecko API, and we don't need any authentication or create an account. We just need the API URL, so we will store it inside the CryptoSlice. Then we will create an async thunk for fetching all the cryptocurrencies data. This function takes two parameters. The first one is string identifier, used for action names. And the second parameter is asynchronous function that take page as a parameter, that we will use it for the pagination. And inside this function, we will use axios.get to send a GET request to the API endpoint with some parameters. And then we will return response.data. Then we will create another async thunk to fetch the details of each cryptocurrency. Then we will create another async thunk to fetch the history of each cryptocurrency to use it for the chart. Then we will create the crypto slice to manage the cryptocurrency's state. And then we will add the name and the initial state properties to it. This slice will accept extra reducers to handle the actions created by the async thunk. Then we will export the slices reducer so it can be included in the Redux store. Inside store.js file, we will configure the Redux store and import the crypto reducer to it. Then inside the app.js file, we will wrap the children with the provider and task the store to it. Now we will create the home page and use the fetched data inside it. First, we will import the home.css file. We will use the useDispatch hook. And inside useEffect hook, we will dispatch fetch altcoins action. Then we will use the useSelector to access the altcoins data from Redux state. Then we will console log the altcoins to verify that the data has been fetched. But first we will import the home page to app.js file. Now let's save and have a look. Now we got the fetched data, so we will use it inside the home page. So inside the home page, we will return a div with class name of home. And inside of it, we will have a div with class name of card-grid. Inside this div, we will map over the altcoins. And we will return a div with class name of card. Inside this div, we will have an image with the src of coin.image. Then we will have an h3 with coin.name. Then we will have a p tag with coin.current_price. Now let's save and have a look. Now we need to add the pagination to the home page. Inside the home page, we will create a state for the current page. And we will define the total pages. We will pass the current page to the fetch altcoins action, and we will add it to the dependencies array. Now we will create the pagination component. We will import the pagination.css file. Then we will import it to the home page and pass some props to it. Inside the Pagination component, we will receive the props. And then we will create a function to update the current page state. This function will take page as an argument. And inside this function, we will say if the page is more than or equal to 1, and it's equal or less than the total pages. Then we will update the current page state. And make this function scroll to the top of the page smoothly. Then we will return a div with class name of pagination-container. Inside this div, we will add a previous button. And on click, we will call the handle page change function with the previous page number. And we will disable this button if the current page is equal to 1. Then we will create the page numbers buttons by convert the total pages to an array, and then map over it. We will generate the page numbers starting from 1. And we will return a button for each page number. And on click we will call the handle page change function with the page number. And we will add active class name if the current page is equal to the page number. Then we will create the next button. And on click we will call the handle page change function with the next page number. And we will disable this button if the current page is equal to the total pages. We can fix this error by disable the ASLint rule for prop types validation. Now let's save and have a look. Now we need to create the single coin page. We will import the coin.css file. To navigate to the single coin page, we will use React Router DOM. So inside the app file, we will import browser router and routes and route from React Router DOM. Then after the navbar, we will add a route for the home page. And another route for the coin page. Then we will update the home page. We will wrap this div with the link from React Router DOM. And move the key to it. And the path will be the same path as in the route. Now let's save and have a look. Now if we click on the Bitcoin car, it will navigate to the Bitcoin page. Now let's create the coin page. Inside the coin page, we will display the coin chart, so let's create it in a separated component. We will import the CoinChart.css file. For the CoinChart component, we need to have the coin history and the coin details. So we will dispatch this action and this action. And we need to access to the selected coin state and coin history state. So inside the CoinChart component, we will first dispatch fetch coin history action. To do that, we will use the useDispatch hook. And inside useEffect hook, we will dispatch fetch coin history action. This action takes two arguments, ID and days. So now we will define the days. And we will get the ID from the current URL by using the useParams. And include them in the dependencies array. Then we will dispatch the fetch coin details action. This action takes ID as an argument, and then we will include the ID in the dependencies array. Then we will access to the selected coin state and coin history state by useSelector. Now we can use the fetched data inside this component. So we will return a div with class name of chart-container. Inside this div, we will have a div with class name of coin-info. Inside of it we will have another div with class name of coin-heading. Inside of it we will have an image. The src will be selected coin.image.small. After the image we will have a span with selected coin.name. And a span with selected coin.symbol. After the div with class name of coin-heading, we will have a div with class name of coin-items. Inside this div we will have 3 divs. Each div will have an icon and static text. Now inside the coin page, we will import the CoinChart component. Now let's save and have a look. Now we will set up the Chart.js library. First we will import line from ReactChart library. Then we will import the necessary components from the Chart.js library. And then we will register these components. Now we will create the chart data, and we will get this data from the coin history. After the div with class name of coin-info, we will create a div with class name of chart-details. Inside of it we have a div with class name of chart. And inside this div we will have another div with class name of chart-wrapper. Inside of it we have the line component, and we pass to it the data and the responsive option. Now let's save and have a look. Now we have the chart. After that we need to display the coin's market stats. So after the div with class name of chart, we will have a div with class name of stats. Inside this div we have a div with class name of stat-item. Inside this div we have a span for price. And another span with selected coin.market_data.current_price.USD. And we will copy this div for the volume, and for the market cap, and for total supply. Now let's save and have a look. Now we need to format this numbers to convert them into millions or billions with 2 decimal places. So we will create format number function. This function will take number as an argument. Inside this function, we will check if the number is more than or equals to billion. We will return the number divided by billion to convert it to billion. and use to fixed to keep two decimal places. And then we will add b to indicate billions. Then we will repeat the same logic if the number is more than or equals to million. And if number is less than million, we return it without formatting. Then we will use this function for each stat item. Now let's save and have a look. Now we will create another component for the coin page. So we will create CoinConvert Component. We will use this component to input any amount of cryptocurrency and display the equivalent value in dollar. So we need to get the details of the cryptocurrency. So first we will use the useDispatch hook. And inside useEffect, we will dispatch fetch coin details action. This action takes ID as an argument. We will include the dispatch and the ID in the dependencies array. Then we will get the ID from the current URL by using the useParams. Then we will access to the selected coin state by using useSelector. Then we will create a state for the cryptocurrency amount. Now for the JSX, we will return a div with class name of currency container. Inside this div we will have a div with class name of currency converter. Inside of it we have an H3. After that we will have a div with class name of converter item. And another div with class name of converter icon. And then another div with class name of converter item. And finally another div with class name of conversion rate. Inside the first div, we will have a div with class name of converter coin. And inside of it we will have a div for the coin image and a p tag for the coin symbol. Then we will have a div for the amount input. Then inside the div with class name of converter icon, we have an icon from React Icons. Then we will copy this div and replace the other div with class name of converter item with it. And we will change the image with the image in the assets folder. And for the input value, it will be the amount multiplied by the coin's price. And we will remove the onChange function and the minimum value. And inside this div we will have a span that shows the rate for 1 unit of the cryptocurrency in dollar. Now let's save and import this component at the coin page. Now let's have a look. The input value isn't displayed, so I think I made a typo. At the amount state, we will replace the curly braces with square brackets. Now the converter works fine.